Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Triple T for Knife Makers podcast. This is our official end of summer episode. This will be the last week of August. We will be heading into cooler days, and those little bastards are headed back to school. Jerid, how you been?
I'm good. That was an excellent intro. I mean, the energy was just fierce. I am like in the edge of my seat. I mean, listeners, I just want you to just take a moment and breathe after that high intensity moment right there.
I didn't even announce myself or you, so
That's fuck, man, right to the point, dude. Just amazing stuff, my friend.
had to wake everybody up.
Oh God. All right. Well, I'm fucking live and cracking now, dude. So let's go. Woo! I'm gonna take a deep breath here. All
Had
right.
to wake Jerid up, apparently.
Yeah, I was fucking sleeping. Sorry for that foul language.
Yeah, potty mouth.
It is end of the summer, and I can't believe that it's already gone. I mean, it was so hot that I just whatever. Let's get it over with. And I guess before it leaves, it's about to bang us with another 100 plus tomorrow.
Yeah, the reason it threw me is the other day I put in an order at Maritime, and then I get my email back and it says when it's going to ship, and it says it's going to arrive in September. I'm like, fucking September? What the hell, Lawrence? And I'm like, oh wait, that's next week. It's like September. If I was thinking, like, isn't it still the 15th of August? Jeez.
Yeah. No, he's known for fast shipping too. So you had to
No,
been living in the days.
no, he's doing well. It's coming Tuesday, something like that. Next Tuesday.
That's
So
awesome.
a week. That's pretty
awesome. Bro, I can't let this go, but you were 10 times more amped up about that than you were that fucking intro.
Well, I actually practiced that one, so.
Oh, okay. Good God.
You always say my intros are boring, so I had to ratchet it up.
I never have said they're boring. How dare you? I would never do such a thing.
Oh, sorry. You say yours are way more animated than mine.
No, I've never even commented on that. I always say just knock them dead, buddy. Break a leg. But I am about to pop this right here if I can figure out how to do this because I don't drink anymore. So popping this is kind of embarrassing here.
What are you trying to do?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, that's very anticlimactic for the audience.
Apparently. What did I do? All right. Anyways,
you know, this is an audio show,
right?
This
is a visual show. Fuck me.
Okay, folks. While Jerid fumbles with whatever it is he's doing, because I can't even understand what he's doing. Oh, are you done?
No, go. Do the show. Continue that amazing intro.
So I'll tell you what I've been doing this week since you're busy screwing with something. Yeah, my wife's out of town as of Saturday morning, so all I did was work all weekend in the shop.
Did you hear that? I cannot believe that took that long. All I was trying to do was open this fantastic beverage, Topo Chico, to cheers my homie Donnie Dulovich, because we were talking about these today, and I just literally spent that amount, whatever amount of time that was, trying to open the thing up because it's an actual like bottle. So,
don't you have a pocket knife or something in your pocket?
Cheers. I'm not saying I was using one. Shut up. Anyways, that's for you, Donnie. Sorry, that was like Denis's intro. It's totally anticlimactic.
Okay, now that we've lost absolutely everybody.
Well, they'll come back.
Oh, I guess. We'll see.
We're down to 6 again. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, we had 7.
Right. Yeah, no, we were up to 7. All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm here. I'm refreshed and ready to go. How was your week, Denis Tyrell?
Well, like I said, my wife left Saturday morning, so all I did was work in the shop all weekend. But yeah, I've been feeling very productive.
What did you get done, Denis?
Well, I might as well open the show with this. Um, so let's talk about the Triple T last week. So I talked about that knife from that I gave to my buddy Dan, who was the best man in my wedding, and I reviewed that in the video and talked about how terrible it was, and my first Damascus, first hidden tang, first guard, all that stuff. And I had a whole bunch of people in the video say you should just redo it and make them a new knife and all of this. And then after looking at the knife for probably an hour after the video, like the day after, because it was still sitting on my table in the shop, I'm looking at it and looking at how thick it is and realizing I could, and then I took one of my templates and I laid one of my templates over it. And then I got this wild bug up my ass to totally redo this knife. So that's going to be, I think the Saturday build video is going to be me redoing this knife. So the knife is done. Actually, I just got to glue it up, but it is a dramatic transformation.
I can agree. You showed it to me the other day and I looked at it and I was like, I know that Fuller. I know that Fuller anywhere. And I was like, did you redo it? Because apparently I didn't read the comments, but I did like the video, dude. I think that was really cool. I think it was for your viewers anyways, I can only imagine it was very, very humble to show the transformation of the work you do now versus where we all started, and how you, with hard work and practice and dedication to the craft, you too can make some large strides in your quality of work.
Yeah, I did get many of those kind of comments. So yeah,
And well
kudos to my
deserved.
wife for suggesting it.
Yeah, I think that was really cool because that you took that bitch on a diet. She was a chunky thing.
Yeah, it was. I think when I measured it, it was exactly a 1/4 inch thick.
Yeah, I was gonna
And
say that's like Brent. Denis was the first one. He had
that's right. The,
the thicker
the
clicker
thicker Bowie,
Bowie. Yeah, thicker
thicker
Bowie.
Bowie, if you'd call it that. But now, uh, so the part that I need to video is I'm gonna present it to Dan, and I'm gonna video it, him opening it and seeing the knife. But I think he's gonna think it's a brand new knife. And then I'll tell him that no, that's actually his knife, and I just redid it and reprofiled it. And then I want to get his reaction and put that in the video. And
Man,
then
I wish that was my knife because I would have a very different reaction. He'll probably be grateful and all that stuff like normal people. But no, that's really cool, man. I think that's right. I'm so curious. Have you etched it yet?
I have not. That's tomorrow morning.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Send me a
I
pic
just
because
got to do
I'm
final sanding, etching, and glue up.
okay. I'm really interested to see. And again, I mean, it's always fun to make fun of you and talk shit, but like, I'm really curious to see like the pattern and what it looks like. I'm pretty sure you lost a lot of
It
layers and everything, but
I could kind of see a little bit of it. I think it's going to look more like a Gomai than it is um, a any kind of layered mat. Like it's just going to look like a Gomai because it was a 1/4 inch thick, and I'm pretty sure it was like 11 layers or something like that, and I probably ground off 2 layers off each side.
right.
So it's probably closer to a Gomai right now.
Oh, that's cool, man. I think that was good. Yeah, good job, Kim.
Yeah, that was her idea, and so I'm thrilled about that. And it's actually probably one of the nicest handle profiles that I've done. So I was really happy about that because I spent a lot of time on the handle. Um, it's got really crisp lines on the Coke bottle portion of the handle, like that really crisp, line that goes up. That looks really nice. I was really happy about that.
Awesome. I'm actually sad to see the guppy go.
Yeah,
The original handle looked like a pregnant fish to me. It had like a pregnant fish belly, like a guppy. It was
it
fantastic.
is awful. Um, there was one, so you'll see in the video, but of course, the first thing I have to do is, because it has a pommel, but it was epoxied on, right? Because it's screwed on. There's no pommel nut or anything like that. So the first thing I had to do was get the pommel off. So I used the induction forge so I could just heat the pommel, bust the epoxy, and then I did that so I could heat the tang inside of the handle, and I still couldn't get it off. So that I put it on the anvil. And I just smacked the wood lightly a couple times with the hammer, like maybe 4 times, broke the tang.
Oh Lord. Oh
So
Lord,
heat
Terry.
treat,
Put it in
not
reverse.
good.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
So I ended up having to weld the tang back on. Yeah, all kinds of
Oh,
bad.
you should have took it to me. I'm like a professional at that ever since Rick broke my knife. I just found that thing. I put it under a stack of papers or something. And I was like, oh my God, look at this thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's one thing I wanted to talk about. I'll come back to that, the throwing knives, but yeah, handle's really nice. I finished the handle today and coated it with Pelican paste, and then buffed that. It came out really nice. So get yourself some Pelican paste. Go to pelicanpaste.com. Use the discount code T10. I use the hard wax because I wanted to buff it and put a nice sheen on it. But he has hard wax, soft wax, Pelican oil, hand salve, soap, you name it. Go see Travis at Pelican Paste and get yourself some.
that's right.
But yeah, it came out really nice. So I was happy. I'm excited to give it to him, but I got to do a sheath first. So I'll be doing the sheath tomorrow.
Wait. Hold that thought. Anyways,
I'm holding it.
Yeah, I'm gonna tie that into something. All right, well that's cool. Good for Dan. Dan just freaking scored right now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's ever going to use a Bowie knife, but he's got one now.
That's a story. That's a story at least, and I think that's really cool. There's a lot of before pictures, and now he'll have the after. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, and he'll be in a video.
He may be pissed though that you destroyed that.
He won't be pissed.
That relic. Tyrell Knifeworks.
He'll be pissed that he can't make fun of me and show me the knife. But no, I don't think he's going to be pissed at all.
All right. Okay.
Oh, what else? Something else happened to me this week, and I'm not going to say who it was, but I was, once in a while you can impress your kids. And it's cool when your kids are like, wow, dad is somebody. Well, I was followed by a very prominent knife maker this week. And I'm not going to say who it is because we actually might have some business dealings. So, but I sent my son a picture of, in the notifications, and I kind of did a red circle around the person and sent it to him, knowing that he knows who this is because he collects knives. And he sent me back a text going, is that a fake account?
That's funny.
And I said, no, that's not a fake account. It has 105,000 followers. And he was very impressed. So it's fun to be able to impress your kids.
I'm impressed too. That's a good follow. Every now and again, you get one that's pretty good. So good for you. Yeah. Well deserved.
Yeah, I was surprised. So what's new with you?
Shit, I'm living the dream.
I thought shit was what's new with you.
No. Well, I mean, my dream is pretty much. No, I'm not going to do that. Everything's going all right, man. I'm feeling good. Doing got some time in the shop this weekend, which was awesome. Saturday, the weather was just beautiful, so opened up the garage and got busy out there. What did I do? I ground a bunch of knives.
Did you Jerid a
And
few?
I did. I 100% did.
I'm
While I was actually at the grinder grinding the I still haven't named it's the Chupacabra, the thicker, the XL Chupacabra or whatever, but and it's not so XL because it's thin. It's like very, very thin. I
when you
did
said
this.
the thicker one, I'm like,
I'm
all your
saying
knives are
taller, I guess. I'm
razors.
saying thicker. Yeah. No. I was thinking about the height of the blade.
Wider.
Okay, sure. The point is, I made this Go My billet, and it was thin, and I just lost my train of thought. The
It's so thin. It's a what's Japanese for one? It's a one mai.
yeah, but the layers are still there, so it was tight, and it's almost centered. I almost did a great job on it, but no, the pattern came out cool, and but I finished ground. I started grinding it a week or so ago, anyway. So I finished that up. Now I'm on to using my sand shark to expedite the labors of hand sanding, which I love. Um, but then took a little break and jumped on Instagram and got a notification that I was tagged in a video from Noah from Antioch River Forge, who did a really cool video and review on the Norton Razor Star, the yellow
Mm-hmm.
belt, and he Jerided like 13 knives, and it just really kind of confirmed that the term Jerid is now a verb, and
It makes me so happy that that's become a verb.
I love it. And my best the best part about it is like they go, some people were saying, oh, I love it that that's a thing, and he's like, he deserves it. And I'm like, okay, I guess, but it is a passion of mine, and I do not lose sight of that. So after doing that, I went and Jerided up a couple of things just because, but that was funny, man. I love that.
Yeah,
And
I got to go to Knife Print and get a couple water Jerided.
I see what you did there. I see what you did there. That's pretty cool. I got to do some water Jeriding too, because that's pretty good. But yeah, so that was cool. That was pretty much my day, just being a knife maker, which felt great because I haven't been feeling like one for a while. And then yesterday, um, while I've been golfing a lot, or pretty regular for the past month or so, and last week I noticed that my driver was dented, like it caved in. It was really so. Look, I'm shitty, right? But I was not able to hit my driver at all. Like it just wasn't going anywhere, and it was doing funny things. So I looked at it and I'm like, oh shit, it's broke. So um, I went and got fitted for a new driver, right? Because if you're gonna, how he says, when you're looking for golf clubs that if you're not going to just go to the store and buy one, right? There's like endless options, different lofts, different, faces to help a fade, to help a draw, to do this and la 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 la. And it's like mind blowing and confusing. And somebody with my brain, um, the choices become too much. So I went out there and tried a new, this was a Callaway. And anyways, I took a couple swings and boom, back to 300 yards. So I'm feeling like there may be some validity to the fact like a new driver is going to help, because I know that's the joke, right? Oh, you're going to new driver, it's going to fix you. But I may.
Well, I did see the driver, and it does have a big dent at one end that seems like it would affect the flight. So I'm going to
Yeah,
give you a pass on this one, that you're
thank
not
you.
necessarily yet one of those guys that thinks equipment is going to make his game better. But
Yeah, in this instant, because I chased all that before. So I did that. That was fun. The machines that they're like these little boxes. They sit on the ground, and you put the ball like kind of next to it, and you start hitting them. And the readings they give out, it's just insane. Ball speed, spin, your swing speed, the distance, the carry, the whole thing. It's
just from
fucking
hitting
pretty
it,
just from hitting it. And it's not like there's anything behind you. It just from your club coming into contact with it, it measures all this stuff, and it's really freaking awesome. That's how they can do those. If you have a projector, like if you're hitting it into the projector, and you can, see the ball
I
doing its thing,
see.
you can do the automated virtual golf or whatever. But yeah, so I did that on Sunday, and then I couldn't remember if we had any plans or not, and it dawned on me that we didn't. But I stopped by and had some things. But you're in the midst of some stuff because it's like you said, it's already summertime. Like, and you were like, I got to do this, I got to do this. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna
Well,
go home.
I wanted to get that knife mostly done because I'm like I'm like lining things up in my head of what I have to do. So I want to finish the dagger hopefully this week, and then I want to get a bunch of knives done for the website. Like I've got 5 chef knives, a bunch of sand tigers. I want to get all those done, like a batch of both of those done in a week, so that now I can do my apocalyptic challenge build, and then I got commissions that I got to do. So
Yeah, I mean the time is flying. When they
yeah,
talk about like Black Friday and the holidays and stuff is all going to be here, man. I, I'm trying to actually learn my lesson from what happened to me with Blade Show, where I felt like 6 weeks was like an endless amount of time, but um, it just dawned on me that we're going to be off to Makers Camp in
right.
like almost 4 weeks now. And we're about 6 weeks now, but it's like before we know it. So I got home and I went back and started working again. So I finished up the that Intrepid 2.0, sanded the handles and had some couple of things to work with. But man, I'm really happy with how that came up.
It looks good. That's
Out,
the one with the green handle, right?
yeah, with the
Yeah,
green
looks
handle,
good.
the first belt finish. My buddy Brent and I did that under the adult supervision of Brent at Bald Man Knife and Tool. That was one of the things that, b- even though his shop did flood, we didn't get to spend that kind of time. But that was one of those things that I really wanted to do, was to grind with somebody that does similar kind of knives, um, and just watch me. Hey, what do you see? So we did that, and he really convinced me that the belt finish, because I'd never done one, and probably would have never planned on doing it, but I think it came out great. I'm super happy with it.
Yeah,
And and I like the trimmed down version of the Intrepid. It's a little smaller. Um just this little smaller blade, but the handle came down, like the whole thing came down from like 8 inches overall to like maybe it's like 8.5 to like 7 or something complete. And but I'm happy with it, and I think I want to probably do a little run of those. That's why I was talking about the knife print today and
yeah.
asking about how quick that can do. So maybe doing that in the hopes to get some product, some inventory completed.
Does this mean you're going to
While
be bugging me to do the design and knife print for you?
maybe you froze, dude. That's hilarious. Your face froze in this very like look like that was
Well,
awesome.
maybe it didn't freeze. Maybe that's the face I was
No, it
making.
was you were talking, dude, but that never the effect was there. Um, yeah, so I want to do that, and then that's why I was telling you to hold on that thing, because I do want to do a sheath again too. Um, I have an idea. Well, I've had an idea. This is typical Jerid stuff. You know, I've had an idea for months and months and months and months and months, and now I'm starting to see them actually come out. So I better get busy doing it. But I want to do a little leather sheath for the fixed blade. But so yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Hold on, when are you doing that? You want to do it tomorrow? Oh, sounds good.
If you're going to take tomorrow morning off, I'm doing it tomorrow
No,
morning.
you're gonna fucking reverse all that. Jeez, come on, man. God.
It'll be tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, tomorrow afternoon. Be there or be square. Anyways, we'll talk later. So that's kind of what's on my agenda. And then on top of that, even though I left the billet at your house, I got an order for the Kumai billet.
Nice.
I'm fired up. So I'm gonna do a chef and a paring knife combo. So now I'm stressed with how much stuff I have to do. But yeah, that's that. And I was just thinking about it, like it's a good thing I made it when the order came in, because I wouldn't have had it, but I would always have a fail safe because I can always go check out my boys over at Baker Forge and Tool, and they have some of the best Damascus out for us right there, kumais and all kinds of snazzy stuff for your knife making needs. This week, right now, I think their drop was the Elite Aurora Mai.
I
I know
like
we're
that
always a
one.
little, yeah, that one's really nice. It's simple, but
That's the one with the Damascus band kind of in the middle. I love that
yeah,
one.
yeah, it's like not overwhelming, but it's badass, dude. I really love that pattern. So that dropped probably 2 days when you guys hear this, but if there's any left, you should go check it out. And before this, knowing that they're going to do drops on the weekend, you can always take advantage of ordering through the app where you get early access to the drops before they hit the website. And you got to finish that Damascus, so you might as well use some the best pre-made etchant around, the Gator Piss. You can also get that at Maritime Knife Supply. And Coy and the boys have a new, like a segment coming out where you can it's an ask me anything thing with Coy. So you get to, right now, if you jump in on the post, I think it just came out a couple hours ago today on Monday. You get your questions in to whatever it is that you want Coy to answer for you. So hurry up, go get busy and do that. And when you're all done and you've loaded up the cart with all kinds of fantastic steel and gator piss, make sure you use the discount code T10 for 10% off your entire purchase.
Get some.
Get some.
I'll be using that gator piss tomorrow morning when I etch Dan's knife.
Yeah. I have some plans for that. Not for Dan stuff, but cool.
Yeah, so actually I have to put in I'm waiting for my order from Maritime because I have some stock steel because I want to make that new chef knife. I got to make one before I actually order blanks of that knife just to make
Right.
sure it is what I want. And then I'm going to make some folders before I um, get a bunch of those water jetted. I want to do one more a folder, which I'm probably going to do for the Triple T folder series. So, which is going to start not next week, but I think probably in 2 weeks. Because next week's, not this week, but next week's Triple T, actually, since we're talking about Maritime, I'm not going to tell you what it is because I don't want to ruin it for the video, but I had no idea that I was literally bouncing around in Maritime Knife Supply and I saw something that I thought was the coolest thing ever. In the cart it went. It's coming to me next week. Jerid doesn't even know what it is. I'm going to do a video on this thing because I think it's going to be crucial for you guys that want to do folders. I think everyone's going to want one of these, and you'll see my video. We'll talk about it next week after I get it.
Bullshit. Not cool, dude. Not cool. I'll say it for us and the other 6 people. Not cool, dude. Keeping us in suspense like that.
Because if I say it now, everyone's going to rush over to Maritime Knife Supply. They're going to be sold out, and then when I do the video, no one will be able to buy them then. So I'm actually going to message Lawrence and say, you better have a bunch of these in stock because I'm sure you're going to sell out of them. Now Jerid's thinking, I can see the wheels turning.
I'm filtering too. Hi, Mom. If I never did it before, I just did it right there. I didn't say what I was thinking. It wasn't nice. So that's pretty cool. No, that's awesome, man. He's got everything. So why the hell not? What else does he have? Shit.
He's got everything. He's got steel. He's got abrasives. He's got handle material. He's got tooling. He's got equipment. He's got stuff that I swear, if you tool around in all of those different menus, you'll find stuff you didn't know he carried.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time.
And I always, this happens to me every single time I order something from Maritime. I put a bunch of stuff on my cart that I know I need. I hit buy whatever, put my information in, and then I immediately see something I wish I would have ordered. And then I'm like, oh, I don't want to pay shipping again. And I know I could just call up Lawrence and say, hey, could you add it to this order? But that's a pain in the ass. And so every single time, except for this one, because I made a point to go through pretty much the entire website, like every one of those little menus, just looking around for what I needed. So go get your stuff at Maritime Knife Supply. They got everything.
And tell them the boys at Triple T sent you.
Absolutely.
Just because. So we can get all your tools, tips, and talk right there. Right there at Maritime Knife Supply.
But Mike Vagnino warned me. He goes, once you do folders, you're going to get hooked. I'm totally hooked. I'm hook, line, and sinker hooked. So I know I got to do these 2 knives, but then I'm going to be chomping at the bit to do more folders, even though I have a bunch of fixed blades to do for the website. I'm going to want to be doing folders. So we'll see. I might actually do that folder series. I might actually do a batch of folders, even though what I show will only be one. I might actually do a batch when I do it.
That's really going to get in the way of all your plans that you have. I'm just saying.
No, because it's going to stretch out over like 4 or 5 weeks. So it's only a little bit each week. So it's nothing.
Don't you counteract my disses, dude. That was a perfectly logical explanation, and I don't like it.
But I finished the Sand Tiger X, which is the folder, the first of my folder design. Jerid's pointing at himself, but that's not who's getting this one.
The love I'm feeling is 0 right now. I have never said I wanted anything from you. Never, not once. You bastard.
We'll see. I'll make you one, I promise, but not this one.
Okay, well, let me pick the handle scales then.
Okay. But I'm really, really happy with it. As for a first design, the actions on it's really nice. Yeah, I think it looks really good. I'm just waiting. I'm replacing the washers with some Teflon washers. So I'm just waiting for those before I put it on the website and release it.
Yeah, dude, it is fantastic. Like, in all seriousness, no jokes, I love that thing. It's so cool. I'm so happy that you're doing them. I think they're only gonna get better, but like it is really, really nice. It looks great. The action's really good. I think you could get through a couple and you're gonna work out all the little minor kinky things. Get them in some hands of some people that are folder people, get some real feedback, But they're awesome, dude. They look great. They feel great. So good for you, man.
Thank you. I need to put a clip on it too. That's the other thing. I'm waiting for the clips.
Deep pocket clip. You can't make folders. You don't know what a deep pocket clip is.
I know what a deep pocket clip is. It's getting a similar clip to the one I have on my.
That's not deep pocket. I'll explain it to you.
Okay, you explain it.
It's a real thing. It's a real thing.
Well, they're already ordered, so I know what clip it's getting. But
okay, well, ask me next time. Deep pocket. No, it's a preference thing. Yeah, that's really cool. I was really happy to see that thing.
Yeah, and then of course I've got a bunch of Damascus little cutoffs that I'm ready to make folders out of, because now, of course, I keep every little piece that's big enough for folders. So
that's really good use of it all too. I mean, how many pieces that you have that are 4 inches, or you know what I mean, that just kind of straight off? So that's exciting.
Yeah,
cool.
So, yeah, I'm rhyming off things here, but I do want to talk about the apocalyptic challenge, only to mention that I haven't started yet. I have all my material, is what I have now. I'm hoping to start second week of September, and that'll give me 3 weeks, which is plenty. If I can't do this build in a week, I think I got something wrong. But
I don't even think you've told anybody. I almost just spilled it. Have you told anybody what you're making?
No.
Oh, I almost fucked it up. I didn't, so we're good. But
yeah,
I almost just fucked it up.
Shut your pie hole.
I will.
No, so so I've got a late start, and I'm already feeling anxious about this, but I feel like I got to get these other things done first.
It's a folder, guys. Don't let this bastard fuck. He's making a freaking reclaim folder.
It's an apocalyptic folder.
Lame. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of time, so we got next week is it Labor Day?
Yeah. I think, yeah.
It is.
Next week's Labor Day, yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah, this coming
Holy
weekend.
Shit. Wow. And then we have September. I'm leaving the week before Makers Camp to go to Disneyland with one of my daughters, which I'm super excited about.
Nice.
I spent a lot of time in that damn place raising the kids. They did a lot of Disney stuff, but it's been a long time since I've been there, and I'm really looking forward to just hanging out and taking a drive. We used to call it Operation Daddy Daughter Dates. I did with the girls all the time, where I found myself in less than masculine stores shopping for less than masculine things, but being a girl dad, and they're all grown up now, so I'm excited that she wants to hang out. So, but that's going to be the week before Makers Camp, so ain't shit getting done there. Then we're going to get back, then we're going to Makers Camp, and then on top of that, I'm probably going to cruise up to Reno sometime in September and go finally get that one-on-one with our buddy Rick.
Oh, really? What weekend you going?
Yeah, I haven't decided yet, but I'll tell you when I get back. Good old tag along Tyrell. Always good to try to ruin a good time. Real clever there, buddy. Yeah, so time is dwindling quick here. But I'm hoping to grip it and rip it with my Two Basterds Fat Peen hammer. And if you are in the market for one of the best hammers out there, make sure you go check out Frank and Nita at Two Basterds Hammer and go get yourself a straight peen, a fucking cross peen, diagonal peen, all the peens in the world. Hit me with it. Hit me with it. Hit me with it.
You're making me laugh, and I don't
Come
remember.
on, hit me with it, buddy.
I don't remember what your.
Ain't it grand to have a fat peen in your hands?
I was thinking, what rhymes with hand? What do you always say?
Oh, the fat peen is on the scene, and we're gonna get busy, buddy. So yeah, go check out Frank and Anita, Two Bastards Hammer, and go get yourself a fat peen. So we'll probably mess around with the power hammer too, but definitely need to get that. I'm excited for the winter too, because I'm hoping to get that hammer work in. Because I apparently am eligible to test for journeyman this year.
Oh, really? You can do it?
No.
Why not?
Well, I shouldn't say no, but it's not looking good right now.
Since you've never made a hidden tag, that might be one reason.
That's one, but that's a little one. I'm not worried about that. People make keyholes on that shit. I'll do it. Yeah, that's what I'm into.
All right. When are we doing your first hidden tag?
I actually, after Maker's Camp, I have 3 knives ready for hidden tag.
But what kind of knives?
Chefs.
Oh, no, come on. I'm talking about a knife with a guard.
Don't discredit me. I got to start somewhere, right? I'm not into it. I don't like them. Like, that's not my deal. But I think Rick is actually gonna. He was talking about making a traditional Bowie. So yeah, maybe I'd do it with him. But
think of your Intrepid, but with a guard.
Okay, now I'm interested. Tell me more, Denis. Chupacabra. Okay, that one would be good.
Chupacabra with a guard.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Look at you, ultimate salesman. Talk me right into it. All right.
Come on, get on it.
Yeah, I'm just stressed out, and I'm a bitch. So I don't know. I get scared real easy. So, but yeah, that's all happening. So, and then kind of switching gears here, I had a couple of questions come in on the Triple T Instagram account, and I wanted to bring a couple of them up on the show. So, if you don't mind,
yeah, let's do it.
Into that.
Yeah,
okay,
let's do it.
So, first question was somebody, I can't think and look this up, but I'll get the names here in a second. Had a picture, and he had like a napkin kind of on his face with, I could see like some blood stuff, right? And he was asking, like, what's the worst thing you've done in the shop, like injury wise? Because apparently this guy had one of my biggest fears, talking about being scared and a bitch, is that damn buffer. And apparently the buffer kicked a knife, and it hit him up here in the face.
Was he buffing on the top of the buffer?
I don't know what he was doing. Doesn't matter if it was on accident, purpose, or fucking dumbass status. It happened. That's scary as shit, because right, it can happen really quick, right? But he's all right. Everything was cool. He said just his pride and ego, right? Which anytime I've ever done anything stupid, like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. But I was thinking to myself, I was like, man, I have been pretty lucky here. I haven't. I'm lucky or safe, right? One of the two. So I was curious, what's the biggest like that you've had?
I've had countless, belt bumps, abrasions, stuff like that. I have once. I've gone to the hospital. Because I had a piece of metal in my eye.
Ouch.
And this is the most random thing, because I was wearing glasses, and it was the next day. So apparently I must have had a piece of metal. Probably, I'm thinking it was probably in my eyebrow or something like that. Mm-hmm. And in the shower the next day, I was washing my face, and a piece of metal went into my eye in the shower. So it must have drained into my eye from like my eyebrow or something like that. And that's how it got there. So it wasn't even, it was obviously
Not like a, oh
from,
shit, yeah.
yeah, it wasn't an accident in the shop. Um, and then I kind of like thought it was just grit, and I was trying to, I was living with it, and then had to come home from work because it was like pissing me off in the afternoon. And I had to go, this is right before the wedding, because I was going to a tux fitting and I couldn't stand it anymore. I was like, I have to get out of this tux fitting. I ended it as soon as I could, then went home. Kim took me to the emergency, and yeah, I had a piece of metal stuck in my eye. But other than that, I don't think I've had any, like, I can't think of any, I've had things flown from oh, I know. I had a piece of, it was a scare. I was using the the table saw, and I had a scale that I was cutting with the circular saw that kicked, and I felt it on my beard fly by my face. Like it
That just
launched.
happened not too long ago, right?
Um, yeah, that wasn't too long ago. This is like probably
I
9
think you
months ago.
talked about it on the show, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I still have not found this piece of wood. It's somewhere in the shop, probably like embedded in the ceiling or somewhere, like on
Jeez.
over, like I don't know where it is. But so I've had a couple of scares, but never been hurt.
Yeah, thankfully.
And just I don't know how this happened, but just a safety notice, if you're using a buffer, that's why you're supposed to buff on the bottom or the front of the buffer, because if it does catch, it's going to drive whatever you're buffing down. Never buff on the top of the wheel, because if that catches, it's going at your chest or your face.
Yeah.
So, public service announcement for buffers.
Yeah. Yeah. I've had I haven't had any steel get ripped out of my hand, but I have flung more Kydex sheaths with the buffer than, and thankfully, and that shit is shot all over the place. Like I've scares the shit out of you. But
Oh,
I mean, you saw.
shout out to the Hustle and Grind podcast for having Jay Nielsen on. So I don't buff Kydex sheets anymore because I use the tip that Jay provided in that episode. Did you listen to that episode?
I did. And I'm coming up completely blank, and I
Oh,
remember thinking it was extra
instead
awesome. Yeah,
instead of buffing it, just take a little bit of acetone and
that's right.
just zip down. It totally works. Totally works because it just
Hallelujah.
melts the plastic just a little bit, makes it nice and shiny smooth.
That's right.
Um, I think I sanded it to like a 220, maybe it was a 400 finish, and then just whoop, and it was like glass. So anyway,
Cool.
sorry to interrupt you there, but I wanted to
No
give
worries.
those some
That's
credit.
important. Yeah, that's an important shout out right there. Those boys are awesome. They've been having really, really cool shows and guests there, and that's some super value right there. Um, the dumbest thing that I did that I can think about is, besides I had a belt snap on me,
Yeah.
a 36, but it, and I had never experienced it before, so I was grinding and like it started acting funny, and I pulled back for a second, and I used to have like one of those face shields, and then that got lame, so I stopped wearing that, and that was in the process where I didn't have that on, but I saw the belt kind of like shimmying and acting weird, and I don't know, for whatever reason, because I'm a dumbass, I leaned in to like
To look at
see.
it.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck. That thing snapped and fucking cracked me right on my head, dude. I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
I've punched the belt quite a few times, but the I guess the worst and the dumbest thing I did was I had just started my progression through grinders was really fast. I had a 1x30 for like a month or month and a half. I did a couple knives on that, and then I jumped right over to the 2x48. I think it is,
Mm-hmm.
just to get the 2-inch belt. But that machine just hauls ass. Has one speed, just fucking balls to the walls. And but it has a 6-inch disc on the side of it. You know what I'm
Right.
talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
So I dropped something on the ground, and I was looking for something, and my fat ass fucking put my hand up on the bench to get up, and my thumb just right into the disc. And
What grit did you have on the disc?
whatever came on it, it's probably like an
Oh.
80. Yeah, I mean
Oh.
it wasn't fun. It took a giant, yeah.
Yeah.
That was one time I come running in. Lynn. It was
And
bad.
you early on, you never want to admit to your wife that, you hurt yourself. Like you want to downplay it because you don't want to get her concerned about,
Yeah.
this new hobby.
Yeah, but it was all like immediately all that skin was white, like because it wasn't a cut, right? It's
Yeah.
the burn, you know what I mean? Like I just looked and all I saw was white, and I was like, oh no, and I'm not Mr. Macho and shit. When I get hurt, my wife always makes fun of me, calling me a wussy because I'm definitely not tough when it comes to that. So
Yeah.
I come
Oh.
running in, holding my hand up, bleeding all over the place, like. Not like our typical, because I cut myself all the time, with the stainless pouches of every freaking time I do something, I cut myself with those.
Oh, well, that's why I got to use the Condersal.
I am
Oh,
gonna
oh,
do
you,
that.
you know what? I did injure myself the other day. When was it? Thursday. Um, those sand tigers, the ones with the hollow grinds, or sorry, the silver tips. I had one. No, no, sorry, it was one of the other um, sand tigers I have on the shelf here, ready to be shipped. I had to ship one out, so I picked it up and I thought it was securely in the sheath, but it turns out it wasn't. It was just loosely in the sheath. So I picked it up. It fell out of the sheath, fell to the ground, blade first, and the tip of the knife just happened to land like right on the edge of my, like the top of my foot. So that fucker's sharp. So there is probably a 3/4 inch gash now in my foot that's really deep.
Oh, jeez.
Like, because it didn't land tip first, but it landed like blade,
Oh shit.
and just the tip like hit the top of my foot. I had to, I could have got a stitch. Like, if I went into the hospital, they would have stitched it.
Oh wow.
But I ended up just crazy gluing it together. Um, so yeah, Starbond for the win.
There you
Um,
go.
yeah, but
Jeez.
yeah. So have I
Shit.
been
Yeah.
hurt
That.
in the
that
shop? All my stuff has the stuff that I've been hurt the worst is shop adjacent. It
yeah.
wasn't in the shop.
Damn. Yeah, but I think for most of the time, like you hear stories like every now and again you get like those freak accidents, and those are the ones that
Yeah.
those suck to hear about. They're scary and everything, but most of the time, thankfully, it's just minor stuff where you're just being an idiot, and you do something that you're not wearing what you should be, or something happens that you could
There
have avoided.
there are certain tools that require, I like to say, optimal concentration. And one of those is the table saw. Um, that one I've mentioned this many times, that one gets all my respect.
Yeah,
Um, like, I'm very conscious, like that one scares me more than just about any of and the router.
the
The router
routers. Phew,
gets ultimate concentration when
good
I'm
God.
using that router,
Yeah, for sure.
because either one of those will remove your fingers in a
Yeah.
blink of an eye.
for sure.
But the buffer I'm not as scared of now because honestly, my buffer is a cheap buffer and I can stop it with my hand easily.
That was the funniest thing ever. I was I had a death grip on that knife and I was there for like forever and you're like, "What are you doing?" I'm scared. And he's like, "Bro," and he grabs the freaking buffer while it's, full tilt, but it's, apparently it's not that strong and he stopped it, right? So I was like, "Okay."
Yeah, it's a crappy Porter cable. I think it's like a quarter horsepower, you know,
Yeah.
buffer, and I like it that way. Yes, it's
Yeah.
slower, but it'll still grab it, but not
Yeah.
not like one of those big baiters or something.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, well, that was that. And then another question that came in was, and this one I have never heard of this scenario. I've never done it. I was hoping that you may have had some experience with it. Um, but I did kind of look up what it actually is. But a listener reached out and asked us if we have ever used um, some kind of a compound for aluminum oxide belts.
So
Um,
yeah, I read the note on this, and it depends what he's talking about because there's two things here. Like the one that you listed, this belt grease, is different than what I was thinking because you can actually get aluminum oxide grit compound, but I'm pretty sure that's meant to put on a felt belt. It's almost like you're running a buffer, like on your 2x72. I have a felt belt that you can put compound on. This stuff that this abrasive belt grease, this sounds like it's meant to put on your high course grit belts. I've never used this stuff. I'm reading your description that you pasted here, and yeah, I mean it says aluminum mixed into the formula to provide a lustrous cut. Um,
on ferrous metals.
on ferrous metals used with coarse grit, 24 to 120 zirconia and ceramic belts to increase the life and cutting power of your belts. So to me, it sounds like the um, the VSM had those belts that had like a compound on it. Like you can't even tell the grit looking at it because every one of the belts looks smooth. I'm not talking about the game changers that look like cork belts. Um, these are, I think they call them pixie dust or something like that. So it looks like it's covered in compound, along
You can't
with
see the grit,
you
right?
can't see the grit. Um, I don't like those belts because they're super loud when you put them on your grinder. Um, yeah, but I don't know. Maybe I've never tried this. Maybe it's a great thing, but it seems like it's definitely going to clog up your belt. But I think it's meant to do that. If this is what he's talking about, this belt grease stick. Um,
Yeah, this is just what I can do because the comment was we use aluminum oxide belt or aluminum oxide belt grinding compound. So maybe I read it that he was using it on aluminum oxide belts, but maybe that's just what the compound is made of. But the way he described it was it's advertised as helping reduce heat and cut better. And his experience was it wasn't helping him that
yeah,
much.
so
So
it does sound like he's talking about these belt grease sticks.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I've never used it. I've never tried it. It sounds a little dubious to me. There are actually abrasives that have this kind of stuff on them, but they're not low grit. Those ones from VSM were like higher grit, like 220, 320, 400 grit kind of thing. So,
yeah, yeah. That was from Ian Christensen,
hmm,
and I think I answered him incorrectly. Now that I'm looking back at it, because I was under the impression he was talking about aluminum oxide belts, but I I see the errors of the ways. But no, I have not tried it, and I don't think I will, based on your
yeah.
experience, sir. And the fact that I haven't had
It,
much
it it does say
reason.
apply sparingly to the belt surface while in motion. It depends, I guess, how much he put on there. Like, I don't think you're supposed to cake it on.
That could be too. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm.
looks like it's just like a giant grease stick, like a belt eraser that you just bump up against the belt while it's moving and go.
Yeah, I did have when I before I used Maritime, I did have Jance send me like this big stick of compound. It's probably what it was. I never ended up using it. I didn't really know what to do with it, and they didn't give me
Yeah,
any
I was thinking it
instructions.
was super hard and like heavy, and
Yeah,
it wasn't like a. I can't think of what I'm trying to say,
it
but
wasn't buffing compound because it said aluminum oxide. I think it was 120 grit aluminum oxide compound. I'm pretty sure it was this. They want to use
gotcha.
belt grease sticks.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. This is one of those things I'm kind of set in my ways, and I know
You not trying new things? That's weird. You didn't think of it. It's not cool.
sometimes I can be stubborn, and someone has to
Sometimes.
shut your mouth.
Oh, my bad. I forget there's other people here. Yeah, and then the other one was, do you do a cryo treatment on high carbon steel? Somebody was making a knife out of a file, and just through his our endless death scrolls of trying to find information and advice on the interwebs, that came
There,
down that there was somebody
there's
recommending that.
a couple carbon steels that benefit from cryo, like
Yeah, I've done it on ADCRV2, but that's based on an article that I read from Dr. Laren Thomas, and I followed that. And I think, like the benefit
oh,
is,
I hadn't heard ADCRV2 is one of those.
yeah,
I think I'm going from memory here. I think 52100 is one of them
okay,
that would benefit. I think it's 52100, but there's not many that where it makes an appreciable difference for the for carbon steels.
yeah, that was my response to him, was that's what I've done. I've done it on ADCRV2, but that was only because it's not in what is the book? Knife
Knife engineering.
knife engineering. I was going to say knife talk. um, I was like, that's not it. But yeah, it's not in that book. It was a like
After,
before that
or
book came out, he used to release these articles on specific kind of subjects, and that was one of them. So that's kind of where I got the a little more in depth view on the heat treatment for ADCRV2. So if you're doing that, go check it out. It was pretty good. But yeah, so I'm with you.
I
I know
did
for
actually
stainless.
something kind of related to this. I did kind of rat hole on something last week where someone had said, you know, some I forget how I got on this. Like there was a Facebook article about a Facebook post about rebar or something like this, and someone said do a super quench on it, and
Super
which
quench?
it is a thing. It's basically it's like a brine kind of quench. There's a specific formula for this thing, and
Oh,
it, normally I say this is all hogwash, but there is some documented study which actually came out of Lawrence Livermore Lab, um, or sorry, not Lawrence Livermore, Sandia here in Livermore. That there was a an engineer at Sandia that was doing some quenching of mild steel to make it slightly harder. So for you guys that think it's the best thing, it gets slightly harder, and you're basically like almost case hardening it a little bit. So don't run out and get excited and buy yourself a bunch of rebar and look up super quench. I generally think it's a waste of time, but yeah. Anyway, I was rat holing on that. Like, is this even a thing? And it turns out it is a thing that you can do and make mild steel a little bit harder. So anyway, that brought that to mind, that cryo on that.
Cool.
But we earlier you had mentioned the throwing knife, and I'm sure we can't do it this year, but I thought I had a fun time doing that throwing knife challenge. That would be fun to organize at Maker Camp, where maybe next year, like get Lawrence involved. Maybe he can, sponsor the event, have some steel. Cause like how many people are going to enter? Like 10, like
Right.
where, you have to make the knife there at the blacksmithing tent. You can go to the Broadbeck tent to grind it. Like it would be cool. And then we have an actual little throwing competition. And that'd be kind of fun to do at Maker Camp. So
That would be.
maybe I'll throw that together.
There's been not official, but there's been some kind of. I think they were making those.
The
I can't
rasp
think.
knives.
Yeah, the rasp knives.
Yeah.
A couple people were just kind of going after it, doing that. Yeah, it would be cool.
Yeah,
Kind
that'd
of
be
occupy
fun.
some time, keep you busy, keep you doing something. But
Yeah, it gets you around to the different tents to do stuff. And
yeah,
yeah,
I like that. That might not be a bad idea there, tag along.
yeah.
Every now and again,
And
you come up with a good thing. I will say that I thought for sure that scavenger hunt was going to be a bust, but that turned out to be really cool too.
see,
So
once in a while I have good ideas.
you do, you do.
Yeah, I'll be sure to do that one next year. But I think, yeah, maybe even this year, Maker Camp. We'll see if a bunch of people come up to me and say, hey, let's do it. Maybe we will. So, Lawrence, bring some steel.
He always does, anyways.
I know.
I'm excited, man. I'm getting excited. I'm trying to keep that in check though, because there's going to be. I think there's going to be a lot more people.
Yeah.
And the first year we went, a handful of people we knew, like just a handful. And then next year it was a little more. But this year now it's like, I think it's going to be
Yeah.
more of our community is going to be there. I think that was one of the, not that it's being ruined or anything, but it's like, I think that was one of the cooler experiences about Makers Camp versus, like Blade Show or something else, is that there was so many other types of makers there. Kind of got you out of your element to go talk to people, meet people, see what other people are doing. It's just a fantastic time for
there's
making of all types.
There's so much to experience there. So yeah.
And then the conversations, like as much shit as there to do, you still find yourself standing around talking and just getting to know and meet people. So it's pretty cool. I'm getting excited, Dennis. I'm getting excited.
Yeah. What are you going to make for Maker Swap?
I'm probably going to do a Intrepid 2.0.
Nice.
That's probably what I'm going to do.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll actually forge one, and leave the forge finish. So you can.
You don't do that.
Hey, I've done it once.
You don't do that. That's not your thing. That's like me and Bowie's. Like, stay in your lane there, tag along. All right. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do.
All right. Well, maybe we'll have.
Yeah, I have so much to like expound on that, but I'm not going to because it's not appropriate. So
maybe we should have a forge day. You can forge what'd you say, an Intrepid? You can forge an Intrepid, and I'll forge something, and then we can use those knives.
Maybe.
Yeah, I haven't forged anything in a while.
We do need more forge things.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't fire you as a teacher now that you have some experience. Such a dick move. That was so unwarranted. I am sorry. I don't rarely feel bad when I say things. That was uncalled for. Out of line, Mr. Sandoval. Out of line.
Well, two of my students, not including you, are coming to Maker Camp as well, because I keep telling people about it. I'm like, man, we got to stop talking about Maker Camp. We're blowing it up.
Yeah, I know. but it's meant to be blown up
Yes,
for
it
sure.
is. It is.
It's meant to be experienced by many.
Yeah.
So, who do you got for Maker Spotlight?
Oh. So I had I have a little story behind this one. So I do those viewer knives every once in a while on the channel where I'll get people sending in pictures of your knives, and I'll do a viewer knives episode. So this is one that I called out. I don't even remember which one, but it was a while ago. And then this guy Orlando reached out to me and sent me an email recently and sent me a bunch of pictures of his knives and asked me for feedback, and which I'm usually happy to do. So I gave him just some, it was a pretty long email, and I gave him a bunch of feedback, and he was actually asking me about going full time and asked me a bunch of questions like that. And I actually, he's 19 and, and he's thinking, making this a career. And I was actually, not that I was trying to talk him out of it. I was trying to caution him on, it's a tough thing to do to make a living at. And turns out, like, he's still living with his parents. He's got, he's got some other, he doesn't have many bills, wants to try this, and he's really gung ho. So who I have is Orlando. It's all one word, Orlando Gray, Gray Muir, Muir, and he's in, I think, Scotland. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, over there in the UK somewhere. But I actually got on an Instagram call with him for, over an hour, probably an hour and a half. Just, he had a million questions. I was happy to answer them. Talked about profiles, talked about, getting started, how I got started, progression, tooling, you name it. He had a ton of questions. I was happy to answer them. So yeah, he's only got 295 followers, but has been doing some really nice Damascus, some beautiful blades, and is trying to make a go of this full time. And he's really, really passionate. He was very excited to be to be talking to me, like, to the point where um, he was asking so many questions, he wasn't waiting for the answer of the last question before he asked his new question.
Right,
So he was very excited. So go give him a follow, and yeah, great to see some young makers out there.
Yeah, I just followed him. Yeah, nice Damascus. Really cool stuff here. I think you reached out to the right guy. Yeah, I'm just always amazed at people. I guess I'm jealous, that younger people get into this, and all the opportunities and time they have, to learn and progress. I think it's really cool. It's something I wish I would have done. But man, oh my god, yeah, I'm just looking at from the very beginning down at the bottom of the page all the way up to the last one. Just what a transformation and progression. Good work, dude.
Yeah, he's done some great knives. Some
Yeah.
And we talked about, like, profiles and a couple of things that he can improve on and stuff like that. But just overall, like, we were all over the place on questions. So it's good. He wants to learn. He wants to get better, and we talked about business and stuff like that too. So yeah, so everyone go give him some love.
Yeah.
Go follow him.
Absolutely.
Who you got this week?
That was a good one. So I was going around looking through, for the Maker Spotlight, and for whatever reason, the algorithm had our buddy Gabe Fletcher at Anchorage Forge, like, just blowing up my feed. Like, I saw like 3 or 4 posts. It was just like his moment on my feed here. So I thought it was a sign, and got the opportunity to meet Gabe last year at a Blade show. And I know he has that Anchorage Brewing. He does those collabs with, Mareko and Josh and a handful of other people. But dude is a fantastic maker. I'm just going through the feed here and looking at all the Damascus and these chef knives that he has. And I just wanted to give him a shout out, show him some love. And that is Anchorage Forge on IG. He currently has 2,584 followers, and looks like he's working on like a Josh Prince-esque plug weld knife right
Yeah, I
now.
was just looking at that.
That is looking exquisite. I'm watching a video right now. Sorry, guys. I know it's not good podcasting, but that is an amazing pattern there. You got to check that thing out.
Yeah, it's the
But yeah,
second
go
one in
do
his
it.
post. It looks good.
Yep, it's pretty cool. He's got a big ass shop too with big ass machines. I love that.
I first learned about Gabe from Spencer at Heavy Forge
Oh,
because
okay.
Spencer knows him because he's been over to that shop a bunch of times, and it was funny because when Spencer said, "Oh yeah, like he knows this guy from Anchorage Brewing," and he just got into blades. This is a couple of years ago. Just got into bladesmithing and like bought, you know, like a 200 pound power hammer, like a 300-pound anvil, like all of this tooling, um, before he was really like had made many knives. But certainly he's putting that stuff to good work now. And I know Spencer's been over there using some of the equipment as well. So I'd love to, I want to go up and visit Spencer again and maybe check out Anchorage
Gabe
Forge
Spot.
and
Yeah.
play with some of that tooling.
Yeah. Definitely a good follow. So go show him some love there. All right.
Hey, I got a joke for you.
Oh no. Please don't do that. That's already been done, Dennis. I don't have a trombone, bro. Sorry.
What
Hit me with it.
what do you hear regularly in church? Not that I'm a church going person, but what do you hear regularly in church that you never want to hear in prison?
I don't know, Dennis. Tell me.
Um,
Oh my
Jesus,
God.
I just forgot the
Oh my God.
terrible delivery. What do you hear regularly in church that you never want to hear in prison?
I don't know, Dennis. What is it?
Jesus loves you.
Oh my.
I could see I could see you processing, but you get it now.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. It was just
Uh,
an absolute banger right there.
I saw that one on Instagram. I thought it was funny.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You got anything else, dude? Because I think we're at 1 hour and 18 minutes in.
No, I mean, what else do I have? I'll have some more update on the dagger hopefully next week. Plan to be a little more into that build, so we'll talk about that more next week, and maybe an update on Sand Shark next week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
I'm using the shit out of mine right now.
yeah, I used mine on Dan's knife today. Um,
Yeah.
doing all the heavy sanding on that thing this morning. So
I will say that thing makes absolute short work of that first grit progression.
yeah,
The value for me, my experience in it is the very first 220 grit. That's where I start, whatever you guys do. But that that 220 off the grinder. I wish I was better. It would probably go faster, but man, that can, if you're doing that by hand, all the times that I did do it by hand, that shit can get in your head that this is the lamest thing in the world, and why am I doing this? And I'd rather be doing anything else. But it really, really, really speeds that process up. The rest of them is, it definitely increases, but that first one is just that's where the value is. That's where it's worth every single penny.
I agree. Because the 400, 800,000, like those 3 grits, that's mine. I go 220, 400, 800,000. And sometimes I don't do 1,000 if I'm on like a mono steel or something, but yeah, you're right. It's really the 220 that is the painful one. The other ones are, you can get through the other ones in not much time.
Yeah. It helps. It's definitely going quicker, but yeah, you lay down that first coat. I don't want to say coat, that's not the right word, but that first grit down, and it's a breeze from there. So kudos. Yeah. Love that thing.
Yeah. Still working on this little attachment to hold the sanding stick. So stay tuned on that. We might see an update on
it's that exciting.
We'll see in a couple of weeks.
That's exciting. Exciting. The only other thing I have on here that I was going to talk about was the other. We got a comment from a couple weeks back when I was talking about how when I was reaching out to makers, and I was feeling like I was asking people out, like hi, yeah. I'm a new maker. I like long walks on the beach, and I think you're amazing. Would you be my friend? A couple people hit me back and said, "Hey man, I completely relate with that." And if you're new, I encourage, reach out. The community is just ultra supportive, and it's only going to benefit you by asking the questions and getting to know people. And a couple years later, you start thinking around. I started thinking to myself after I read that. I was like, man, so I reached out to this person, and now they're all my friends. They're my friends now. Like, it's not like that weird, the dating phase is over, but you'd start to develop relationships with people, and so I highly encourage it, man.
Yeah, I do too. And the other thing, after taking my first official course with Mike on the folders, I'm definitely going to be taking some more courses, because I learned so much so fast in those 2 days that just kind of rocketed me forward in that topic. And I couldn't imagine what that's going to do for other topics taking courses. So I'm a big proponent of that as well. So make friends, take courses.
Yes. Instructions. Tools don't make you better. Practice does.
That's right. Jerid, driver.
Thank you. Driver. Hey, you can't turn that around like that. That's mean. Next time you do take a course, make sure it's in a bigger shop, though.
Hey,
asshole.
Mike just said he didn't want you there. It's not my fault.
I understand, but most people are. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, Mike. You're a gem. I love you.
All right. You got anything else? Or are we done? I'm done with you.
I think I'm definitely done with you. I'll see you tomorrow. Afternoon.
All right.
All right, later. And that's a wrap.